It was just after 6 a.m. when Jake, hardly a single dad, mechanic, an Army veteran, stepped out of his modest garage in rural Virginia and saw a woman struggling by the side of the road. Her car hood was up, steam pouring out like a dying engine's last breath. She was in full fatigues, her posture tense, but her eyes frantic. Beside her, slumped in the passenger seat, was an elderly woman, pale and barely conscious. Jake didn't hesitate. He grabbed his toolbox and crossed the gravel lot. "Need help?" The soldier turned to him, startled. "Yes, please. My mom's really sick. We're headed to the VA hospital, but the car just died." Jake glanced into the car. The old woman's skin was great, her breaths shallow. Time wasn't on their side. "Forget the car," Jake said. "You're coming with me." Within minutes, they were speeding toward Richmond in Jake's battered pickup. The soldier, who introduced herself as Sergeant Elena Tomasa, held her mother's hand tightly, whispering reassurances. Jake drove like a man on a mission, his own daughter's face flashing in his mind. He'd been in a similar situation racing to the hospital when his wife collapsed 5 years ago. She didn't make it, but maybe this time, he could change the ending. They made it to the hospital just as her mother slipped onto unconsciousness. Nurses rushed her inside. Elena looked ready to collapse, but Jake stood beside her like a stone pillar. "You're not alone," he said quietly. She nodded, tears in her eyes. Hours passed. Jake stayed. He bought her a coffee from the vending machine, called his neighbor to pick up his daughter from school, waited in the cold hospital corridor with the woman he barely knew, but understood deeply. When the doctor finally approached, the news wasn't good. "She's not going to last the week," he said gently. "I'm sorry." Elena nodded, biting her lip hard. "Can I take her home?" "Just a broken bar for a few days." Jake stepped in. "You can stay with us." She turned to him, shocked. "You've done enough." "I couldn't. My house has room, and my daughter would love the company." Elena hesitated. Then, quietly, "Thank you." That week was full of unexpected light. Jake's daughter, Leila, braided Elena's hair and read stories to her mother. Jake cooked simple meals, and Elena helped fix up the leaky sink. They talked about life, about grief, about service and sacrifice. Jake didn't ask many questions. He just showed up, again and again, with kindness. Elena's mother passed peacefully 3 nights later, holding her daughter's hand and smiling faintly at the sound of Leila humming from the next room. Elena broke down, and Jake was there. No words, just presence. The next morning, black cars lined Jake's gravel driveway. Men in uniform stepped out, saluting Elena. A tall man emerged last, to broad shoulders, silver hair, and 4 stars glinting on his collar. Jake blinked. "Elena, a broken bar, that's your father?" he asked, stunned. She gave a small smile. "Yes, General Thomas. We've been estranged for years. A broken bar until last night. I called him after Mom passed." The general approached Jake with measured steps, then extended his hand. "I don't know who you are," he said, "but my daughter told me everything. You gave her a gift no rank or medal could offer: humanity." Jake shook his hand, still in his grease-stained flannel. "I just did what anyone should do," he said simply. The general looked him in the eye. "Most people wouldn't, but you did." 2 weeks later, Jake stood beside Elena at a military memorial for her mother. His daughter held Elena's hand tightly. After the service, Elena turned to Jake. "My dad offered me a transfer, a broken bar closer to here. I took it." Jake smiled. "Leila'll be thrilled." "And so will I," she added softly. There, amid fallen leaves and flags, something unspoken bloomed into something built not on grand gestures, but quiet moments of compassion. In the end, it wasn't the uniforms, or the titles, or even the tragedy that mattered most. It was one man, choosing to help. One act of kindness that rippled outward, mending hearts, rebuilding bridges, and reminding us all that humanity often begins with the simplest of things: stopping to care.